I'm Mike Johnson. We're in the diesel shop here at Casper College.
And I'm Stephen Bartolic. We're both instructors for the Diesel Power Technology program.
Awesome. So what do we have here in this facility? What kind of work do you guys do in your program?
So our program is largely hands-on based, about 70% to 30% lecture. So they're going to be spending most of their time out here, the students will be. So we have engines of all different makes and models, Caterpillar, Cummins, Detroit, as well as transmissions that we'll be working on. We start that in the spring. We have a number of pieces of equipment in the back part of the shop, a bunch of different trainers and things to help learn about specific systems and subject matter on different pieces of equipment.
Okay, awesome. Do you mind if we go for a quick stroll over here?
Sure.
Awesome.
So right now students are in the middle of reassembling their engines. They'll tear one down and disassemble it to the bare block. They'll measure and inspect all these different components here. So here's one that's already started to come back together. The cylinder head, one of the cylinder heads is back on, the pistons are in. And this engine should probably be back together here within a couple weeks or so. They all go together and come apart at different rates. But it kind of depends on your background, your aptitude. So the speed isn't what's important. It's getting the learning experience, getting your feet wet with the different parts and taking them apart and putting them together. That's important. So.
Right. So right now, how many folks are enrolled in your program?
We cap at 24.
Oh, okay.
So that we can have a good number of students out here to work with, get to everybody in a good timely manner, so that everybody can learn.
You guys are able to devote a little bit more time. You're not just cramming kids in, or other students, right?
No, we cap it at that. That seems to be a happy number to where we can still get a good learning experience for all the students, and also make sure that they're getting the most out of it.
Right.
To everybody.
So for this kind of work, what kind of industries are available or have a demand for these kinds of jobs? What do you say?
There's a multitude. You've got oil field generation, standby generators, hospitals and whatnot.
Okay.
Trucking industry. This will go into boats. So you've got all the big ships and whatnot.
Yeah. So it's not just the traditional thing that we're used to, like big machines and energy or whatever. Like this has a bigger reach in other industries.
Construction equipment, all construction equipment's ran.
Agriculture.
Agriculture.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. So what do you guys think what makes a good mechanic, or what makes a good person in this industry, like a good applicant? What do you say?
Someone that can pay attention to details.
Okay.
Is probably the biggest applicant.
Do you think that's something that can be taught, or is that something that people just kind of have naturally?
Little of each.
Yeah.
Little of each. I think it depends on the teacher as well.
Okay.
And whose mentors are in the shop that he works with.
That's something that we try to ingrain in them here. Like the process is very, detail oriented. Like they walk them through in a concise manner. They learn how to go through different service literature for different OEMs, and they get exposure to different makes and models. So that kind of forces them to learn how to look for that information and find out what's important.
Yeah. So have you noticed in Wyoming there being a demand for this type of work?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's all over the country, and not just Wyoming.
So folks could, in theory, get a certification or go through the program. Maybe they'd have the flexibility to either make a good living here or be able to move or relocate, to other places. I mean, ideally not, right?
Ideally not. But if they're willing to run this profession, they can get a job anywhere in the country, anywhere, no matter if it's big or small town.
Yeah. And this is through a 1-year certificate program or the 2-year? Because you guys have. Oh, okay. Through the 1 year. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, you could go the degree route as well. You're going to get the same diesel coursework. You're just going to get the gen eds as well. One thing that the students kind of like to do, whether they choose the certificate or the degree, is the natural gas option. So there's this orange engine over here, and there's a couple others behind it. That's another kind of a dovetail for this part of our world. It's not diesel, but They use these engines for natural gas drilling and compression, standby power. A lot of hospitals are switching away and moving over to natural gas engines. They're a lot more convenient for that.
Oh, wow.
And there's a lot of work to be done in that side of things as well. Have natural gas engines and over-the-road trucks and semis as well too. So
that's pretty amazing. Now, for you guys personally, since this is your chosen field, in terms of your quality of life, what has it done for you? You know, what's the benefit that you have received personally from this profession?
Well, I mean, I went through this program years ago. Mr. Johnson went through it a couple of years before I did. But yeah, we both succeeded, and
It's been a good life to raise my family on.
yeah, me too.
I've been in it quite a bit longer, I think, than Mr. Bartolic, but in my 40-some years of being a mechanic, I've had a good life for my family. Out of self-gratitude, you get a good feeling when you can do something on your own and it runs. It goes down the road.
That's really great to hear. If you have any tips or any questions, or not questions, but any comments, you know, toward anyone who's just beginning to explore this profession, you know, what would you like to say to somebody who's just getting started in this career exploration?
Well, it doesn't matter if you've been wrenching your whole life or if you've never had any experience before. We cater to all different levels and walks of life and experiences. So don't let that be a sticking point for you if you're really interested in this and you're, like Mr. Johnson said, you're detail oriented. You're accountable. You know, you can work hard and you're self-reliant, dependable. Those are some of the most important qualities you can have.
Awesome.
Agree wholeheartedly.
That covers it. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate your time, and thanks so much for letting us take a quick look at your awesome facility here that's available in Casper, Wyoming. So we don't have to go very far to get a good education. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.